and that will ultimately have a bad impact in a mass for whole public or in a society. So I think this was my last question. One more question is there? Okay, what can be the standard operating protocol to set for disaster for local community as awareness? So, thank you for asking this question. So, you want to know what could be the standard protocol. So, look, if you talk about the protocol, again we go to our that vicious cycle, you know, sometimes we say vicious cycle of different other thing also. But if you see the vicious cycle of disaster, can we show that slide? Yes, yes, to answer this question, I would like to focus on this slide. So, actually, this is the core thought of disaster, you know. To manage disaster, you have to follow this cycle. So, what protocol you will follow? From the part of preparation, there it's written pre-impact. So, in a good term, we call it pre-preparedness to disaster. So, first protocol is you should follow while making even policy, short term or long term policy, or while doing any kind of research work, to identify the vulnerability, you should check the parameters of pre-preparedness, whether the community is prepared to save their lives by their own self or not, whether that community has DRR team or not, whether the community has such kind of NGO or any government body to work for disaster or not. So, this is the first protocol, I think, you should be really mindful, and your eyesight should be on this part, I mean pre-preparedness part, and this is the main fundamental basic part to mitigate the impact of disaster, I mean the impact of post disaster. So, best is the pre-preparedness part to follow. Another is the response part, and there was some most of the questions were related to response part as well. So, how do you respond to the disaster? What are your response tool? How will you go directly to the site? So, all this response part depends on again on DRR team. So, in response part, your DRR team is your hand, leg, brain, everything is your DRR team. Then, if you don't have DRR team, you will lack recovery part. If your pre-preparedness part is weak, you will lack response part. If you lack DRR team in response part, you will lack recovery, relief and rehabilitation part. And if you lack all these three parameters, you are going to lack the part of mitigation. You won't be able to mitigate the impact of disaster, either that is theoretically or practically. But today's session, as this was totally focused to give a more training insight, you know, we cannot demonstrate a lot because this is not an in-physical program, but we were focused that how we will approach the disaster site, how we will approach the community once disaster happened. So, these parameters pre-preparedness, response and recovery, these parameters should be prepared before disaster actually. So, even ward response to manage the ward response, to give the emergency response or relief, again the mother part is pre-preparedness. For manage the recovery part, the mother part is, I mean the center part is pre-preparedness. And once you are pre-prepared, you could give good response, good recovery. The final goal is to mitigate the impact of disaster. The final goal is to save the lives. Then of course this part is met. So, this is the protocol that we implement before disaster, during disaster and after disaster. So, I think you got your answer. That's fine. Okay, so you come. So, thank you. I think now Dr. Animesh will answer one of the trials question, and I am hand overing the mic to my colleague. and then I will give a short thanks note, and then we can wrap up. Just 5 minutes. One more we have. No, first you answer the question, then I will continue. First, Dr. Animesh will answer your question, and then I will give a thanks note to everyone, and then we will wrap up. Thank you very much.
I should thank my colleague Dr. Chandan for giving such an interactive session, and he has really presented very well. So, I just got a few questions from participants like, yes, what are the various systems for tries? Like we have for tries, we have basically majorly accepted 4 systems are there. One of those I have explained, that is a start tries, the simple tries and rapid treatment plan. It has I have explained that it has a 4 components usually, and it has been widely used as a framework. And what are other, and can be used for all age groups basically. And what are other systems? Other system is a jump start, like an abbreviation is there, jump start, and other is a salt, and the last one is a MCTT. So what is jump start? It is as similar as a start system, but basically in this we can treat a pediatric patient as well. It does also contain all 4 color codes, and the last and another one is a salt system. Salt system is short, assess, life saving, and treatment and transport. This can be done for all age groups. In this we can do, what we can do is, in this we will first, basically what we do is on tries, like first we short the patient on the basis of priority, then we assess, then we'll do some life saving interventions, then we treat. If the basic major disease, the basic injuries are there, we'll treat, and then we'll transport the patient to the nearest available medical facility. And last one is MCCT. It is a mass casualty triage tool. It's an electronic tool designed to assist the triage process. So this was my answer to this question. And the other question I think is just another question. It's a good question asked by a participant. It is, can you shed some light on challenges to the practical trials? Basically, trials. What the trials is? Trials will definitely be done after a calamity, na? When the nature basically, what are the practical challenges? First, let's see the trials. Actually, the challenges that come in the practical trials and the approach can be taken to overcome them are, I'll tell you. So there are limited resources, like as we know, the limited when the disaster is there, the calamities exceed their capacity to cope up basically. So the limited resources are available as a medical supplies, facilities, lack of trained personals. Trained personals are also there, and communication barrier is there because it's a multilingual and multicultural hazards can be, multicultural areas can be impacted. So there is another impact, another is a communication barrier in multilingual communities. And the most importantly, like the Dr. Chandan has also explained, that the chaos in the aftermath of the disaster further complicates the management. And this was my answer. Thank you very much. Is there any other question? No? So I'll invite Dr. Chandan again to conclude the session. Thank you everyone for listening us. And there were some technical glitches. We apologize for that. Thank you. फोटो ले दीजिएगा, फोटो ले दीजिएगा, फोटो take this. Okay, so we are at the end of the session, and I would really like to thank the team members first of all, because we have been preparing and about this project since last 3-4 months back, and today was our first session. And I would like to really thank first of all to all the participants for participating in this and asking really
frankly speaking, 1-2 questions were like too logical, and other questions were also too conceptual. I don't mean to say that other questions were not useful. 2 questions were like too logical, I mean policy based question, that was not in the presentation, but how will you apply your knowledge totally at ground level, and how will you apply this whole chart in policy making or protocol part. So, I like this question, and another 2-3 questions were directly from the slides, and that was also so conceptual and like a creative question, and I would really like to thank for asking such a beautiful question. And I would also like to thank all the team member of Exchange Alumni of US Department of State, and we could not forget World Learning Center at today's date, because they have sponsored us, and World Learning Center, its head office is in Washington DC in America, and World Learning Center has continuously putting their effort to not only in the Indo-Pacific region of 23, let's say 23 countries of Indo-Pacific region, but also all around the world. Around 145 countries they conduct this kind of a lot of training program. I would like to inform you also. So, if you have any creative ideas, you can join up with us, you can connect with us as an Exchange alumni. We have such kind of connections that we could help you to grow up your motivation or grow up with your ideas. Also, I would like to thank all the committee, our technical persons, our friends, seniors, and all the team members, and I think we should wrap up with this, and namaste to everyone. And we will provide you a PDF, or we will provide you this all presentation on our, we have a website, and hope our team leader, team members will put that website link. Please put that website link in the chat box of Zoom link, so that everyone will go in the website. Climate.org is the website, I think, and everyone will go in the website and look our PDF presentation, so that if you have any queries, or you want to deal more with this issue, or you want to put your ideas, then you are always welcome to reach up to us. We have provided how to reach us, we have provided some kind of information about us in that website. So, we are